Hello and welcome to Sincerely Rave, Mom. We are on episode 9 now. I cannot believe that I'm almost on episode 10. It feels like I just started this podcast and now here we are.
Here we are.
Yes, welcome to my guest, Your Highness LLC. You might recognize her. I am so excited to talk to her about a lot of different things today. I think it's really important that we have a conversation about how influencers are treating brand owners, especially small business owners. I think there is a huge disconnect recently I've noticed with not only how influencers treating, or it's mostly from how influencers are treating small businesses. Personally, I take it as a privilege anytime anyone ever hits me up or wants to work with me. So like I'm literally like almost in tears as I'm reading the message, like, yes, please, I will work with you. Like, thank you for seeing me. And to hear that like some people are not like that, that they literally are, they think they deserve a lot more than what small business can offer. So I think it's time we have a little conversation about that. I feel like I'm like so tilted this way, but oh well, it's okay.
I'd love to shine some light on that.
It's important. I've been wanting to have a small business owner on here, so I'm really glad and like I'm happy that it's you. So, because you're one of the first businesses that actually reached out to me for PR as well. Like I would say,
are you wearing it right now or no? Is that? Yeah. Okay.
Where is it? Sorry, it's tangled up in my other green hair. But
I wasn't sure.
So my nail looks so weird with this. But this is her hair piece. Yes, of course I'm wearing it. Of course.
So cute.
So, all right, so let's get right into the beautiful get to know you questions. We love getting to know each other on here. And why is my mouse over there? Oh my goodness. I don't even care if things aren't perfect on this podcast anymore, guys. This is hard.
If you think that someone's perfect, you're crazy.
And also, like, I do this by myself. For anybody who doesn't know, I do this by myself. Like, I have my friend Olivia who helps with questions occasionally. But for the most part, I am the sole person doing everything for this podcast. Social media, recording, questions, creators, content, all that stuff. Like, this brain, it's got too much things knocking around in it. All right. So it's the ADHD, I think. All right, so let's just get right into the get to know you questions because I'm super excited to get to know you more because we're already friends, but now I get to like.
I know we are. It's like we've literally been friends for over a year now. And like you're one of the people I talk to on voice memos, and then I forget it's a freaking voice memo, and I'm like responding to you, and I'm like, we're not on a phone call. This is a dang voice memo.
You're not the only one who does that, and I love that because I am too lazy to text. I want you to know I'm so lazy, especially as like so many people want to get a hold of me. I will just voice memo you. It's easier just to talk than to type. Like,
and
I'm sorry.
You can't trust Siri because she'll mess all of it up if you try to talk to text.
I feel like I like sending voice memos because I feel like it's more personal. It's like I am actually having a conversation with you.
Yeah, it might be like 6 hours later, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine. All right, so let's just start with your name and pronouns.
Raya, short for Mariah. She, owner of Your Highness LLC.
How old are you?
31.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I thought you were my age. I thought you were 27. Like I genuinely thought you were like 27.
No.
What's your skincare routine? Can I have it?
I don't do anything. I put on CeraVe and like in the morning and night a lot, just like basic ass lotion. And
maybe my Aveeno will do. I think my Aveeno will do okay then.
Yes. I don't know. I've never been into all that. I try to just like, I'm big into like the supplements and like teas. And I feel like that's what helps.
I feel like I should get more into supplements. I've always been super into skincare because I had really bad cystic acne in high school. So I had to do Accutane. Yeah, I had to do Accutane twice. Oh my God, that will
dry you out like Sahara.
It was bad. I had to do it not once. I had to do it twice. I had to do it once in high school, and then it got rid of all my back knee and all that stuff. But then a year later, my cystic acne on my face came back 5 times worse. But luckily, after doing Accutane the second round, I've had no skin problems since. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. So it's been like 6-7 years since I've had really, really bad acne, but I used to have it really bad. And Accutane, yeah, it dries you out, but it does its job. It does.
Yeah, but there's some horror stories about that. I'm glad that you came out all right.
Yeah, honestly, I'm grateful too. I am grateful too because Aquaphor was my best friend. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
When or what was the first event you attended? Did it change your life, or was it another show or life event that made raving become more prominent in your day-to-day life?
Well, it's now ravening.
It's
So
the ravening.
no,
The
but
ravening.
so right when I was still in high school when I started because I had already lived on my own and I was already like getting into the scene. And that's like how it kind of started. But I went to Big Dub. That was like my first thing. Like I went
Ooh.
hard in the beginning. I went
Ooh.
festivals and then started going to raves. And I went to 9 Big Dubs.
Honestly, I think personally, I think that's the better way to go. I think that you should go to a festival first. I think that the environment is completely different than at
Yeah.
a night rave. If it was 6 years ago, maybe not, because like I went to my first, it was like a night rave, right? But I think the scene is so different now at those kind of raves that festivals are really where you can get like the true
I
festival
made
leagues.
friends with my neighbors that first year who I legit am so close to today. Like we
Yes.
it's you don't, when you're at a rave for like the weekend or just for the day or the afternoon or the night, even if you're like going to afters, you're not like making those connections like you do at a festival.
You don't. It's like when you're camping at a festival, especially, it's so much easier to become friends with your neighbors, to not only become friends with one of your neighbors, because usually you have quite a few. You have someone on each end of your tent.
Every side, yeah.
Yep, you are surrounded by people. For me, so I love making friends in the bathroom lines or like the shower lines,
Yes.
because you're stuck in them shower lines for half an
You're
hour. So
my
you best
soulmate
believe I'm
at
be your
you.
bestie.
You're stuck with me for life after that.
I've made some very good friends. A lot of my like Snapchat people are from people I've met in bathroom or shower lines, and I'm so okay with that. There's been a couple
I'm
of
4 years
times
clean of Snapchat.
to be honest, I'm so deep in Snapchat that is where like I send like funny photos to my friends. I'm like the really really big close-ups like
I
of my
miss it.
eyeballs.
Trust me,
I
it was against my will. I was banned.
honestly, if I'm being like so honest about Snapchat though, the amount of times I've wanted to remove it and get it off my phone because
Yeah.
I feel like it just makes me have YOLO. Like it makes me or not YOLO, FOMO, sorry, makes me have FOMO.
I know what you meant.
Makes me
FOMO.
have FOMO. It makes me like feel like I'm always missing out on
I
something.
feel
Like
like it's so easy for like people to cheat on each other and like just it's just like a sneaky type of app. I've just always had bad experiences with
no, that's
it.
so
So
valid.
like don't listen to me. Like do not take my
Honestly,
opinion.
I've only had good experiences and I'm still like,
Right?
I kind of want to delete the app. It's like if I don't know, if I'm being honest, it's just like I feel that whenever I open anybody's stories on Snapchat, like especially, okay, so if I don't go to a lot of local events here where I live because the scene has changed a lot, a lot. And
And you're in
unfortunately,
California.
yeah, I don't usually say the city I'm in, but I am in California and the place I am in is very, very drug centered. Like you look around you and everyone's on ketamine, like not just on ketamine, like on in deep. Unfortunately, it's like you look around everywhere and it's just like there's not a sober person in sight. And it's like I usually don't mind that, but it's like they're not just not sober. It's like if you've listened to this podcast before, you guys know that it's okay to get messed up every now and again, but it's the level of which you get messed up. These people aren't just like, I'm a little silly, goofy,
This is a
tipsy.
lifestyle.
It's like they are, I'm in a K-hole for the fifth time tonight and about to do my sixth one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like the amount of times I get asked if I'm selling at the local events. Do I look, do I give off dealer vibes? Genuine
Yes.
question. Wait, really? Genuine
Look
question.
at
Do
us.
I give off dealer
Look
vibes?
at us.
Every single event I'm on God, every single event I go to, I have at least 3 or 4 people ask me like, "Are you selling Molly?" And I'm like, "Do I give off that vibe?"
You just seem trustworthy and happy. So I guess it just can't be natural. It's impossible to just be naturally vibing.
I don't know. Like it's and I'm always like the most I'm on is an edible. Like most of the time, like I'm just I've smoked my weed. I've got my wax pen, but like I'm like, do I look like a dealer? Because like I said, it happens all the time. But my best friend always gets asked if he has a spare cigarette. And we've had the conversation of genuine question, do I give off cigarette vibes? And I said to him, yes. Yes, you do. So I guess I give off dealer vibes, he gives off cigarette vibes. All right. The perfect duo. All right. So who's your rave mom or rave dad? Are you still close with them?
Wow. Oh my gosh. I I'm the rave mom. I don't
Really?
even know how to answer that. Holy crap. No, I've always been the rave mom. I'm always the sober one. You know how many times I've been asked how many kids I have? I don't have kids, but I'm asked it a lot because
You give off mom vibes. I will say you give
I
off mom vibes.
yeah, I hand out juice boxes and
That's yep.
snacks, and I
You give
make
off
sure
like I
everyone's
have a
drinking
toddler vibes.
water.
Like you really
Yeah,
give off like I have a toddler vibes. Like that's so
yeah, and I literally, no, thank you, not here.
so you never had like someone take you to your first rave and like walk you through everything?
No, I always was very bold. Me and my best friend crew, I'm still very close with them now. We were we just did everything together. So we went to go see Rusco in Philly, and you had to be 18, but we were underage. We had fake IDs. That's how it was. I've gotten in trouble for that. And literally, we went to a Rusco show in Philly, and it like was amazing. But like I said, that didn't like change my life until I went to a festival, and then I was like, yeah.
Crazy.
Rusco came out into the crowd. It was freaking awesome. I was 17, and like that's so long ago. I don't even can't even math that right now.
that's I don't know like what to say to that. Like I've never had someone answer that they don't have a rave mom or rave dad. Um Update for those who follow this podcast and follow me though. I am back in contact with my rave mom. The last episode that I had, no, seriously, on God, the last episode that I had, well, 2 episodes ago, I was with B Mood Candy and I talked about my rave mom and what happened. She reached out to me because she's been seeing me on her For You page, apparently.
It was meant to be.
Like she said, like you've been all over my For You page, and like she called me from like star 67 basically. So she, because I blocked her, and she sounded completely different. She sounded so happy and healthy, and I was like, I'm gonna call you when I get off work. So we had like a 2 hour conversation. I brought up to her how I felt about my first rave and everything, and then now we're again, and we saw each other. We went to a rave together. So
Nuh-uh.
yeah,
What show?
it was a show in my local area. It wasn't that great. I literally only went
But
because she was
still,
going.
if there's
It was
bass
Boombox Cartel.
happening,
It was Boombox Cartel. So I love me some Boombox Cartel. So it was a good show. It wasn't, I left early because like I said, I literally only went there to see her. I'll talk about what happened at the end of that night though, because my God. But let's move on to the next question.
wait, what happened?
It's okay. I'll give a couple. Okay. I wanted to wait to like okay. So basically I left early because I don't like traffic. I don't like the whole wave of people going out. Like I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna leave 5-10 minutes early. I'm out so early so I don't have to deal with all y'all trying to get out the door. So I leave with my friend, and her boyfriend forgot his ID. So he was just waiting in the car like a champ for her while she enjoyed her night.
Wow,
Right? What a
good
champ.
boy.
Right. That was the first time I met him, by the way. And I
Wow.
was like,
Brownie
good,
points.
right? I was like, all right. And it gets even better. He gets more brownie points too as the night goes on. So basically, I'm talking to my friend Zoe, and we're like facing each other, and we're like in the middle of the street in the city, right? So I'm on this side, and I look over on my left. I just turn like this, and I see a guy on a scooter eat shit, like face into the ground. Oh, it was funny, silly, goofy at first, right? And Zoe and I lock eyes, and we're like, go attend to the person because are they okay?
Oh.
This dude starts sitting up, and his whole head is bleeding. And there's a broken alcohol bottle on the ground. And I'm like, this dude was drinking and scootering. If you drink and scooter, you're stupid. It's just like
How is he even holding? I can't even use my phone or anything when I scooter. That's just way too sketch.
I want you to know.
You have to commit to that scoot.
I didn't even know that people drink and okay, to be fair, maybe I could have used a little brain power for this, but I just didn't think that people scooter to drive like drunk. Like that seems like such a stupid idea.
But like actively drinking.
Like no, that's what got me was the broken liquor bottle on the ground. Like I looked down and I'm like, so yeah. Also, I know that I'm a rave mom and that like I am always there to help people. But if you are gushing head or gushing blood from your head, I might puke. I get nauseous from blood. It's really bad.
Don't
So
gush head.
luckily Zoe's a fucking champ. And she pulled up her phone, instantly calls 911, instantly starts handling everything. And I'm starting to get dizzy with my boyfriend next to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. Oh my God, there's blood like
I'm
there's
gonna.
like I literally was just like this, and I turned over because the guy like needed help up, and I was like, okay, he needs help up. The guy gets blood on my leg. And luckily he barely missed the Rolita Couture shorts because I was wearing my boyfriend's shorts and he barely missed those. So thank God. But like he got blood on my shorts. So I was like walking back to the car, pulling the short up, just being like, there's blood on my leg. I just wanted to help. I was like, I
And you
just
don't
wanted to
even
help.
fucking know him. What if he has like Hep C?
See, I was just trying to be a good person. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I saw someone
You're
fall
so
down.
nice.
I was like, I saw someone fall down. Go make sure they're okay.
I pick things up and put them down.
Like so I help him sit down and he like starts getting kind of aggressive too. So I look at my boyfriend, I'm like, we need to go.
I
So
will
we have
knock
our
you right
boyfriends.
back out, sir.
Yeah, I was like, we need to go. I'm too overstimulated for this. So I look at Zoe and I'm like, hey, I'm feeling nauseous. Like, we gotta go. And she's like, it's okay, I got it. What are your favorite EDM genres?
Yeah, drum and bass, heavy bass, drop the bass, trap remixes,
Ooh, I like
shaking
that.
ass to the bass. But then I like little flowy stuff and I love singing along to things. So I'll go have a house moment, but then I need to go like definitely injure myself to some excision before the night's over. Like I like
What's your
everything.
favorite
but,
kind of bass? Like favorite kind of bass.
I don't know, heavy bass.
So like
There's different.
basically what you said, drum and bass, right? Which is the
Yes.
that one. Then there's like Excision. Yep. And then there's Excision, right? Which is bomb, bomb.
I'd call that more like rhythm and
dubstep. Yeah, its
Yeah.
technical term is rhythm dubstep. Melodic dubstep is Elenium. There's technical terms. As a musician, there's a technical.
Wow, and I just
Yeah.
made that up.
Yeah. I was like, it's technically called, so for anyone wondering, it's technically called rhythm dubstep because OG rhythm is the wah, 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 bah, bah, like the high knees, right?
Yeah.
But so it comes down to tempo, right? Or BPM. So the rhythm is 75 BPM. Dubstep is literally just rhythm, but with an extra amount of sub and bass on it. So it goes bomb, bomb, bomb. So it's still like wah, 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 but it's
Feels
together.
good.
That's why it's put together. It's called rhythm dubstep, and that's what Excision makes. If you listen to Czar, Kaiwachi, all those people, it's rhythm dubstep technically. Subtronics, he started off with rhythm, and so now he does rhythm dubstep. Melodic dubstep is what Elenium makes, right? Which is the very synthy, beautiful, but you're also hearing bomb, bomb, like you're headbanging while also crying. Cry bangers.
Yeah.
That's melodic dubstep. So, oh, sorry, I don't mind me info dumping my little autistic self. I'm like, music? I love music.
No, I need to learn more things.
As a DJ, I had to learn because when you're mixing songs and mixing genres, they have different BPMs. So it's really you can mix certain different like BPMs, but at the same time, most of the time you shouldn't. So do you remember, because for anyone who doesn't know her and doesn't already follow her, so not only is she a business owner, but she does have quite a big following. So do you remember your first viral video?
Of course, it had to do with weed.
I'm saying I made a weed jingle, so like I feel you. I literally sang a tune, and that was my first viral video.
Right. Okay, so but no, honest, the first thing, and this sucks because this was when I had over 100,000 followers on my like original account before I lost it.
I didn't even know that you had like a different account.
Oh yeah, my original TikTok. I've had 3. I'm on my 3rd one right now. Started from the bottom on every one.
Good job, awesome.
But on my original one, I had a really shitty day and I got my period, and I was like, "Fuck this!" I called off work. I was still working at the vet, and I called off work and I just spent the day at like Five Below and thrifting and going to like Goodwills. Well, I went to Five Below and I got a Squishmallow, and I got like 3, and one was the little Buddha, the gray Buddha, and one was the green matcha, and I was waiting for that green matcha forever, and it was only $5. So I get in the car and I like made a video, and it was like, don't be sad, go get a tattoo. But instead I said, go get a Squishmallow. And then I like kept going, and I was like talking about how you can get Pop Rocks and you can get old fashioned candy. And I did this whole thing. Went viral as fuck. I had like 3 million, and I went overnight. I got like I don't know, like 80,000 followers overnight, but it was all little kids, and they all started making videos with my sound, and there was over like 2,000 videos with my sound just, and they're all that kids night. Though. And you can still search the sound, but you can't, I can't access it, and I can't do anything, and I never got money for it. I didn't know monetization back then.
Oh, if I'm gonna let you know, if I can find that, I'm putting it on the screen right now.
Yeah, please do.
I love, it's my favorite thing to do that.
Squishmallow song, or don't be sad, go get a Squishmallow.
Oh, I might even Google it too.
You can't miss my voice. It's my voice.
Sometimes if you Google it or YouTube it, somebody has clipped it too, if TikTok doesn't have it anymore. But I love clipping and things like that. I'm wearing a brown
t-shirt in the original video, and there's like literal, you could tell it.
Duly noted.
Don't be sad, go get a new Squishmallow. Don't be sad, go get a new Squishmallow. So that went viral, and that like showed me that I was like, so people do think that like I'm funny and entertaining, and my man's always one who's like pushed me and encouraged me too, because like he always fills in like the blank spaces for me, and he's like, yeah, like this is natural for you, blah blah blah. And then when I lost everything, it was very hard. Every time it is so hard to come back. So these girls who are like going through this and losing their shit, like I feel for them. I have to be so careful and so like smart about everything, because it hurts. It like hurts so bad when I lose it. And now I'm going through it again with my personal Instagram. I just lost my personal Instagram. It's been about a month, but I had that shit for 7 years, and like all my shit's gone, and it sucks. And like I paid hackers who have been suggested to me and shown to me by multiple girls who've gotten their shit back. But like, I don't have $3,000 to just pay and get my shit back.
Yeah.
And since I don't have a high following, I'm not that important. You know what I mean? Like,
you're important to me.
I know, but in like the sense of things, dude, that number means so much to people that it's literally nauseating and sickening.
Oh
and
no,
so
what's crazy is that I've met some of the rave influencers who like my following is too little for them. And I'm like,
I've had girls come up to my booth while I'm working at a festival and act like they love me and that they follow me, and unfollow me the same day.
that's, oh my God, that's aggravating. I want you to know I'm so excited to learn this stuff, because like, I don't know if it's because I'm autistic and maybe I just like, I'm not always the best at understanding certain things. So like the things you've told me, I had no idea that shit even existed. Like for me, I always just assumed
It's scary as hell, especially
I
raving
thought
for
everyone
so
was
long.
like
I didn't know this
me.
was a thing.
Like
I didn't know that you just bust a ring light out in the middle of main stage. And I didn't know that people put couches all over main stage, but they don't sit in them and they're not there. All their shit's just there, and and you can't move it and you can't touch it, but you also can't see the stage. This is all new to me, and I'm like in my 30s, and I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah,
Wake up! Stop sleeping at a Grizz show.
I mean, okay, it's in my, maybe this is a little different, but in my defense, I did not sleep, but I closed my eyes while listening intentfully to BTSM while I was rolling.
Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Like, I wanted to know, I was laying and I was just, all I heard was the beauty of EDM. And my friend Olivia taps me and she's like, Kelly, are you okay? And I'm like,
I would not tap you. I'd be like, little kiss. Mwah.
No, she wanted to check to make sure I was okay, right? Because I hadn't rolled in like a year. And so she was like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in my head.
It's
in
the roller
good
coaster,
way.
like,
I was like, in a good way. And she looked at me and she was like, okay, baby, you go back to sleep then. I'm like, so, but if you're just like, I can agree with that. But I also, in my defense, I was just on the hill on Base Canyon. I was in nobody's way. I was.
No, exactly. I'm not talking about that. Sleep all day, set up your camp all day, but not at main stage and not in the way.
And you're talking like in the pit, right?
In the pit.
That's dangerous. That seems like a hazard.
And like, we wonder why he's taking a break. The vibes are just not there.
No, honestly, like I kind of funny is like we're talking about viral stuff. Like my most viral video ever just happened this last week. Like what the fuck? I was walking home from
the one about Claire?
Yeah, dude. I was just walking home from work. I got a ride to work that day, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need my headphones. I'm not walking home from work today. Nope, wasn't able to get a ride. So I'm like, walking home from work. I got 20 minutes to pass, and I'm like, man.
But that's when it always hits. That's when it hits, when you don't try.
I just walked home, needed something to do. Literally, I was just doing the captions, walking home. I'm about to walk in my house. I'm like, toast. Let me just go shower. Let me go shuffle. Nothing happens, right? The next day, it's like a chill video. I go out to a drag show with my friends, and I haven't drank in months, and I get super fucking drunk, and I'm like having a great night, and I go to bed. I wake up a little hungover. I open my phone, and the first thing that I see is my friend texting, dude, you were reposted on All Time EDM. And I was like, what?
Yeah, you woke up and you're like, not me waking up.
I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, what? So I open up Instagram and I see that they reposted, and I'm like, I hadn't checked TikTok yet. I had not checked TikTok yet. And I was like, okay, so obviously something happened. So I open up TikTok, and I have never seen so many notifications in my TikTok before. I was like,
when it's like 99 clear, 99.
It's like 99 plus. 99. And then I close my phone and I like look, I respond as many comments as I can. And then I open it again and it's doubled. And I'm like, So yeah, I was just honestly just post if you're doing this kind of stuff, just post the little thoughts in your head. Okay. I
Don't even double think it.
for a while I was like, I don't know if because you followed me like a year ago. I did a lot of skits. Like that was mainly what I did. And
I
so
love it. I love your Family Guy shit.
I do love doing skits, but the problem is I'm very hard on myself. So having to stare at myself for pictures along with videos, that's an all day event. It is literally an all day thing. And I just can't do it anymore. And honestly, I don't really get joy from it anymore. Like I don't the sounds aren't
But
as
bitch,
good as they
listen,
used
you're
to be.
looking the best you've ever looked. Like, document it.
I see, but I don't know. Now I've realized that those videos, one, not that I care, they do really well because whoever wants them will see them. But I actually get more enjoyment from just posting my thoughts in my head. And
Yeah,
obviously people like that too. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do that from now on. So if I and I'm not never gonna do skits again. Okay. I'll probably write my own skits. That's fun. But the like doing things to sounds, it's just not really my niche anymore. And I don't think I want to do it much anymore.
are
I've
you
thought
going to
about it.
Beyond?
Beyond Wonderland? No. I'm going to Base Canyon and Dance Festopia this year.
I just did someone's hair yesterday, well, all day into last night, who's going to Beyond Wonderland, and I've been knocking out orders for people going to Beyond. Like, oh my God, I have like 2 more, and I'm like, y'all, don't worry, I will express ship it, but my fingers just might fall off. Listen, yesterday I did someone's hair for almost 9 whole hours, and my boyfriend, when I got home, had the Epsom salt in the hot water for me,
Oh
waiting
my
for me,
gosh.
and my 2 fingers
What a
were so
champ.
swollen, and I could not get my ring off. Hey, it's the
Jeez.
life. It's the life that I
You know what?
chose.
Speaking of the business part, I'm gonna ask one more question and then we're gonna get into that. So
Yeah.
I consider you a content creator, even though you are a business owner. I feel like you are a
You
lot of
have
different
to come
things.
up with new ways to share
Yeah.
your work
Yeah.
every
So
day.
what's your favorite and least favorite part about being a content creator?
How the trends are so ever changing so quickly. So 1 second they're like, your videos must be under a minute. They have to be like 10 to 20 seconds or they
Yep.
won't get. And then they're like, actually go for the 10-minute videos. You need to
That's
be
why I
doing
used to
10
do
videos.
skits. That's why I used to do that. Those used to hit. Now
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't push them at all. And I'm like, okay, they want minute-long videos. Now into the personalized questions. These are always my favorite because obviously these are the questions I was talking about earlier that I write and I put a lot of effort and thought into these. I like good
She does.
conversations. I really do
She
try.
has a lot. Like this many.
Yeah, I do 20 questions for each person. I used to do more than that, which is why the episodes were even longer, but I'm learning as it's going along. So, what drew you into the rave space initially more than anything?
Are we talking
Like
business?
rave space? No, like raves in general. Like EDM space, raves in general. Like
Oh,
what drew you into that in general?
yeah. So pretty much watching videos with like lasers. I was like, that's so sick. And nowhere around here does that. Like, there's
Yep.
nothing. You can't just go to the gymnasium. You can't just go to a bar. You can't just go to like the local fire hall.
Bars don't got lasers?
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah,
Not those kind
not
of
here.
lasers.
Oh, so we had to see that shit for real because I'd watch Red Rocks videos all the time. I'd watch like
Yes.
EDC videos all the time. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what the hell are the people around here doing? Because it is not it. I need to experience this. And then there was no going back.
That's definitely most people. It's like you go to your first rave and then that's it. So have you always wanted to be a business owner or did you have other dreams growing up?
No, I always wanted to do my own thing, whether it was like having my own like brand or, something with like theater. I wanted to like perform. I want to reach a lot of people. I want to like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's like all that wrapped in one. So
So
yes, I've always wanted to like blow my hometown out of the water. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've
yep.
always been a person who everyone thinks is like so black sheep. I'm the black sheep all the time. Like I'm not close to my family. I'm not like them. You know,
My nickname's the redheaded stepchild. That's what I have nicknamed myself since as long as I can remember, because as
yeah.
much as my family does love me, I am the redheaded stepchild. I am the black sheep. It is what it is. Look at me. Look at my background. Like, it is what it is. So
Exactly.
when did you
So
start making
I don't have
hair
the
pieces? Oh, sorry.
support from family. Like I don't
I'm
have any of
sorry.
that. Like I
And
do it all myself.
look how much you're doing.
Yeah. And I've
That's
lived on my
awesome.
own since I was in high school. So I mean, like, yeah, I've always just figured it out. I've always hustled. I've always did everything I need to do. So this just made sense to be
Yeah.
the thing.
You've always been, diva is a female version of a hustler.
Literally.
So when did
My
you start
man
making
just got
over?
me a huge neon hustler sign for Christmas as a gift.
Yes. You know, your man sounds like a great dude. I like
Oh yeah,
him so
he's
far.
freaking, he's like my like bestie. He keeps me like pretty like level headed.
I feel that my boyfriend's definitely the same
I know,
brain
I saw
cell
it
in the
was
two
your
of us.
anniversary. You're like 6th anniversary, and I was like, that's so awesome.
I love that
Me and
man
my
so
man have
much.
been together for like 4 years.
Yeah, he's definitely made me realize like what a true healthy relationship is. It's like it's not
Yeah.
perfect, but like we
And you're
never
like,
yell at
this
each
shit is
other.
this is not real, is it? And then
Yeah,
you're like, oh, you're still doing it after 6 months?
yeah, like it's the communication part for me. I've always felt very, very like I can never communicate what I want and be heard in the way I want. And so it's like he always seems to like know what I'm saying. If he doesn't, we can figure it out pretty easily. It's not okay. I think that's fine. My wax warmer's making a little. I think it's fine. So when did you start making hair pieces? Walk me through you going from it as a first timer to making it as a business.
Well, my business was just a cannabis business. I worked
Oh
for two
shit.
different growers and well, two different growers, but three like different cannabis companies. So I traveled a lot. I was in LA a lot, and then I'd go to Vegas and work for Champs shows. And then my hair was always locked, and my man's hair was always locked. So I always knew that I was into that style. I just fit the style. Like everything just fit me. So I just never looked back. I like fully committed, started like fully locking my hair, fully like letting my true self be seen, smoking all this stuff, like letting it be known. And then I was like, I need to do more with this though. Like I wanted to be taken serious. So a lot of the growers and like the cannabis industry I worked for, they would let me keep a lot of stuff. Like they would let me keep stuff for free. And I'm like, I can't smoke all this. I don't want to just, waste it or sell it. I want to like do something with it. So that's what got me into making like the nuglises and the shirts and all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, but when I'm not traveling, I don't have anyone to do my hair because in PA, there's like nobody around here like me. Like I'm the black sheep around here, and I could drive like 3 hours to go get it done, or I could wait till the summer and get it done at the beach. But like that wasn't suiting it for me. So I started practicing on myself and my sisters, and then that kind of became like the main thing. And then I kind of just like grouped all the things I did together, and at events and stuff I would start offering the hair wraps, and I would start offering hair tinsel. Then everybody's like, well, can't you do braiding? And I'm like, let me try. Then I started doing that, and then I'm like, okay, well now I need to get more serious. So then I went and I got the licensing, and I'm like, now try to fuck with me. And then I'm like, well, now I don't want to just go to events. I want to have like a spot where people come to me. I don't want to have to keep going to other people. So then I put money down. I got my first location, and then I was there for like 2.5 years. Then I got my second location, and I was there for a little over a year. And then I bought this store last August. So I've been here now for a little over a year, and I have people fly here. Perfect example, yesterday she drove like 3 hours to get here from upstate New Jersey. I've had people like get hotels and Airbnbs to like stay at to come get their hair done, or to just come like shop the town, because I live in a tourist area.
Mhm.
So like you can spend a whole weekend going to all the places on my block and the
Don't threaten
street.
me with a good time now. Don't you
No,
threaten me
for
with a good
real.
time now.
And it takes
My
you to
boyfriend
the
and I love
river.
traveling.
Yeah, my school's on the river right here, and there's all kinds of trails and stuff. And then there's an ice cream and a coffee shop on the river, and you can like rent scooters or bikes, and then you can shop. And there's 4 or 5 antique malls here, thrift stores, breweries, all of it.
That's so cool. I didn't
So
know
it
you would
kind of
actually
just
have
like,
that for so long.
it just literally just kept going. Like gradually every year it was like, oh my God, the next big thing next. So now it's like, now I want to go get bigger. I want to have a storefront at a beach. I want to be in a tourist area.
I
So
was gonna ask, like, do you wanna end up having more than one storefront?
I feel like just keeping it a destination thing.
So
When
just
you
one
go to the
place.
beach, right? When you go to the beach and you're like, oh my God, I want to get a hair up at the beach. Look at all their stuff. They have the sage, they have the crystals, they have the bohemian pants, but you're like, that shit's wholesale. And that shit is
Yeah.
just coming from somewhere else. No, my
Yep.
place, everything's handmade. Everything is legit as fuck, and you can't get it anywhere else, and you're gonna come out here to see it. So I want to be at a place where people already want to see. So maybe like, I don't fucking know, somewhere with the ocean. I want to like
California?
live above my store and
California?
just like,
California's pretty cool.
yeah, I know, but I better be saving way more money if.
Yeah, that's the problem with California is that it's so expensive out here. It's like it's beautiful and I love it out here, but it is very, very, very expensive, and it that's
And
why
the
I
air
want to move out.
pollution, the air
Yeah,
pollution.
I don't live in a good I live in a very air polluted area too. Like I live in it's you look up and you don't see stars. You have to
Yeah.
drive about 2 hours to go see
I've
stars.
spent a lot of time in California, and it's not like I'm not dying to go. I love Mexico. I never want to leave when I'm there. I really like New Zealand. Like I really could do it there, but like I might have to start like here. Like what about like North Carolina or like South Carolina touristy areas? Like I don't know. I feel like people would eat that
Florida?
shit up.
What about
Yeah,
Florida?
but the laws there
Ooh,
are
never mind.
not in
Yeah,
favor of
there's a
what I
lot
do.
of no, that's true. You have to think about that as well. Which hey,
Some of the Carolinas though, but it's like a little bit better. But like, oh, I just want warmth, girl.
what about Kansas? Isn't because I know Kansas is weed friendly because that's why I'm going to Dance Festopia.
Well, I'm going to Denver very soon. I'm
Ooh,
staying with
that'd be a good area. That'd be actually well, it's not beachy like you want, though. I know that's what you want, but
right,
Denver's a
but
really good
touristy.
area. Yeah, I've honestly that's definitely a place I've thought about moving to as well. Not the only reason, like the main reason I want to is I know the rave scene there is I know it. I've heard
Big.
it exactly. I've heard every person there that has been to one of the raves in Denver. They're like, "Oh, the scene is amazing," and I'm like, "I want to
Yeah.
experience it."
And
I
there's so
want
much
to.
to see and do. I'm gonna make so many flow videos, and like we're going to Meow Wolf, and I'm going to stay
Ooh.
with Avery Sweet and Luma Z. I'm
Hell
so
yeah.
excited. And all this happens because of because of festivals. Like I wouldn't be doing this
100%.
trip at all.
I feel that. If it weren't, I feel very, very blessed, especially for my following. Because I feel like I've met the most amazing, genuine people through it. Like I'm going to Dance Festopia with Mood Candy, with B. Like we're going together. We're hoteling
Did
together.
you just see that she made a review video on my shirts?
No, but I'm gonna go look. And they go by they.
It's on her Instagram and her TikTok.
They go by they, in case you didn't know that. They are
Oh, yeah,
non-binary.
duh.
No, it's okay.
They.
It's okay.
I had to learn that in my when I was making the shirt.
It's okay. It's honestly they're very like as long as you just correct yourself. Like that's literally they're very
One of my
very
absolute best friends growing up is now
non-binary.
is now a guy.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like I respect it and I don't think it's weird at all. And I'm like all about it. I just legit knew you for 12 years with someone else.
Yeah.
So sometimes I fuck up. Like
No, that's
but
okay.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I can tell that you it seemed like you genuinely just didn't know or you forgot, which is totally fine. I just like I'm always that person that's like they go by they. They go by they. Like it's not even to be mean. I'm just like just so you know because like I try to yeah, my best friend is they were trans for several years and now they're non-binary. So for me it's very like I know how much even if it's just a small correction means to them. So I try to be like, yeah. But yeah, I'd like
at least acknowledge it and say sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even it's not anything more deep than that. But yeah, I'm really grateful I met them. Sarah, hi, I'm Sarah, like one of my most like I love them so much. And then they used to go by gay base queen, now they're queer base queen. One of the most absolute genuine humans I've met in the entire scene. They're like I'm very grateful for
I wish you could be like insert picture here right now.
I feel like they have Kitty Cat Cove, the Rave brand. They have split hair. They are gymnastics.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is for me to remember one name and now I have to remember your name and your business. And then I'm like, wait, you got to do that for me too. I'm the problem.
I try to like, if I'm being honest, if I'm like close to the small business, I try to like get to know you as a person as well.
Yeah.
Like
I have to when I'm making a custom order for someone, like I literally have to, I have to stalk your page. I have to see like, what's your vibe? Like what colors, what energy, like.
I love like seeing the faces of like the business owners, like, or like with who make stuff, right? Like I love seeing the person behind who's making it.
Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you do not know who the owner is. And the other day, excuse me for not remembering the brand, but we're doing a trade right now because I'm making her a set of hair. And like, would have never known that she looked like, she sent me a selfie because I was like, hey, like, I need to color match your hair. Like, can you send me a selfie? Literal queen. It's just like bitch, why are you not why are you not modeling for all your own products?
Honestly, that's okay. So there's, I don't know if you know the photographer Kaza Media.
Yeah,
or
of
Koza.
course. She
So
just
when
she
I
just
saw
ordering
when
these.
I saw what she looked like, I was like, I followed her photography page first, and then I saw what she looked, and I was like,
she's just a cute little bean.
right. And so like she also DJs too. So shout out Kaza. One of these days I'm gonna do a photo with her. But I love seeing like the faces behind the brands and behind the like the camera. I think it's really cool.
Low key crap my pants when she just messaged me the other day. She wants a custom one of these crew neck.
I might have to get one of those because that looks really cool. I've been eyeing it the whole time.
I have a lot. I have long sleeves, I have sweaters, long tees, and regular tees.
You said long tees, right? Like oversized tees?
Like, yeah, like this. Like, like over the hand, like,
I mean, like,
and then
so like this. Like these are the
oversized
kind of
t-shirts.
shirts that I like. Like these
Yeah.
were super baggy. Oh, I might have to hit you up later. Okay. Duly noted. I've been trying to get more t-shirts now that like I'm really getting into my style. So do you remember your first sale? What was it?
Oh, my first in-person sale was this ugly ass ashtray that I made. And I thought nobody was gonna like it, but they thought that it was so crazy that it had nugs in it. And I was like, dude, there's so many bubbles in that. Like, there's so much more potential behind this. And they're like, no, this is so cool. And then my first Etsy sale, I was like, this isn't real. This ain't real.
Do you remember like what it was? Like what, like if it was like a hair
an
wrap
ashtray,
or like
yeah. I mainly did ashtrays and nugglases for like the first like 2 years before I started getting into the hair. And
you still do ashtrays and you still do ashtrays and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
See, I'm gonna have to take a look.
And
at
you
your
could customize it however you want. Like,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that later. Oh my
circle.
God. Oh, someone don't text me right now. I'm busy. I should have put my thing on do not disturb.
That's what I did.
I thought I did, but it is what it is. Luckily Adobe Pro is a wonderful, beautiful thing that I can edit and do things with. So
yes.
So how did
props to you, because that's a whole nother job in itself. Editing.
Tell me about it. That's why I'm like, I do this all myself. Like there's a reason why I'm at a point now with the podcast, and I'll explain this when I like post about it again. But the way I'm doing my podcast, this is a hobby. This is for fun for me. I do this because I like talking to people. I like teaching people about Plur and about the etiquette of raves. I don't do this to get paid. I make zilch from this. Literally, only thing that I get from this is probably the relationships and stuff. Like I do this because I love it. And so
I'll pay you. I'm just gonna pay you.
I wish I love it. I'm hoping through brand deals eventually, but to be honest, this podcast for me is like a hobby. Like I just like doing this for fun. So like I'll post when I post. I'll make things when I make them.
Yeah.
Hope you're here for the process. Like
for real.
So I guess you kind of said how your storefront came about. You said it was before or after you started making hair pieces? Before, right?
Hair was full in swing. That's mainly why I had to expand and grow, because the place where I was, there were people waiting in line. I was at this really popular market, and I started out with one spot, but I had to expand to 2. I put all new walls in, new flooring. Like I went all out, and like I physically could not even fit the amount of people in there. And then I would make shirts and stuff and they'd be gone. And I was just like, this is a lot. Like it was really happening really fast, and I was like, I just need more space. I need to have a wall for like my hair. I can't just have hair flying everywhere, tinsel flying everywhere, people walking in and out. I was like, I need my own space. And then the next space I got didn't suit either, so now I have this place.
So is it this what you like? Do you love, is it?
I love it. I love it. I will let my hands swell up like balloons. I don't care.
Yeah. I love seeing all the clothes in the background too. Like I'm trying to like focus, but I have crippling ADHD, even with the medication I'm on. And I'm just like, let me see. Let me see. Like, there's this one jacket that I keep seeing. You can see it. It's a pink, blue, and yellow. And I keep looking at it and I'm like,
that's a vintage Obey sweater.
I was like, I want you.
Here is either true vintage or Y2K or reworked.
So the place where I live, there's no good thrift stores. There's not. Like I feel like you have to go to like those kind of bumfuck areas to get good. Like, listen,
when I would work in LA, I would spend a whole day just going to places and then ship it home. And I spent like $177 on one box one time.
So I don't like saying exactly where I live just because I'm a very private person. I'm on the opposite end of California. So you guys can do with that what you will. there is not that here, unfortunately. Like right, I'm
Found
like
her.
y'all, right? I'm like, good
Found
luck.
her.
Here's my thing. It was actually really funny. I was at a local event the other night, and I had someone message me like, "Hey, were you at this event? Do you live in this area?" And I'm like, it was another influencer, so it was like wasn't creepy or anything.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, like I'm just really private. I never say where I live. And she was like, dude, I've been following you for so long. I had no idea you lived in this area. And I'm like, yes, yes. Because
I love
I'm a
that.
very private person. I don't, in case I do ever get really, really, really big and there's creepy fucking people out there, I don't want
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
to know where I live. I don't want anyone to even
No,
have
for real.
an inkling. Like, if anything, they're like, as I've already said, it's Northern California. California is a big state, so good luck with that. But yeah, there's no good thrift stores. Like, the most we got is Goodwill.
I love me some Goodwill, but only in
No,
like a city.
I used to like Goodwill.
You
But
probably ran through everything.
right, I'm like, I've tried thrifting with my friends too, and it's just like we can't find anything anymore. And like there was this one time we found like multiple things at this one thrift shop overpriced from what they were even originally from selling. Right? I'm like, there was a couple things from Hot Topic, right? Like my friends and I, we shop Hot Topic, so we knew that's where it was from, and it was like $35. And I'm like, I looked it up online. I'm like, this is literally 22 being sold right now.
Okay,
Like,
so my average pricing on all my stuff is $8 for clothing.
I'm gonna
My
have to
most expensive pieces are like true Harley, like pieces like this. Like all my Harley pieces are like 20, 25.
I wish I could just like teleport myself there and
I
then
know.
and then just
You'd have a place to stay if you ever came out here.
we're gonna have to plan something. Okay. Like we're definitely gonna have to because I love traveling. I love like I don't know. I really want to see your store. Like it seems so cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've Googled it to see if I could see like pictures of the outside and stuff.
Yeah, Google
Like,
it, guys.
Oh, I have.
love my Google pics.
No, I
have
love
some
it. It was
good-
so cute. I was like, when I saw the outside for the first time, I was like, that is so her. That is
Yeah,
so
I
her.
got my mushrooms repainted yesterday. I'm editing the video right now.
All right. So what are you most proud of in terms of your business and how you've built it?
Just like how I've been able to like outdo myself every year. Just like upgrade and
That's
like
awesome. That's amazing. I think that is one of the most amazing things you can do. Like I was looking at what my following was a couple years ago and I've more than doubled it. And I was like,
right? It's like wow. Even after like losing it all and like trying to come back, it's
I
like
really had no idea you had 2 other accounts. And the fact that you're at the following, you're like 40K or something like that. If I remember correctly, I looked a couple days ago, it was like 39
Yeah.
or 38 or something.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, by the way.
It's hard and like you have to post every day.
I really, if I'm being honest, I've had a few friends who lost their page actually. I've genuinely thought to myself, like, what would I do if I lost my page? And I don't even know if I'd have the energy to make it again. Like
so
I don't
depressing.
that's why I'm so careful about what I say now.
But one day, like even if it happened, one day you'll just get a little tickle under your ass to like get motivated again. But like
Yep.
it's not easy. It's like why they're just gonna take it again.
I'm very careful with what I say on my page and how I comment. Like I've had multiple, like so many people say like, oh, I say that I talk about the same things you do, but I get myself banned. And I'm like, you may talk about the same things I do, but you may say it differently. I'm very calm voice. I don't ever name call it. And so like I'll see these people's videos and they're like, I don't understand why I'm getting banned. And I'm like, I do. That's like literal hate speech. Like you're
literally.
I'm like, y'all
you're just like really stirring the pot. Like
yeah, like there's this one girl who's commented multiple times on my stuff saying like, oh, I've talked about all the influencer you do and all the stuff you do. And I was like, I'm just really curious. So I went to go to her page and I looked at her videos. And one of the ones I saw was like her, like, it wasn't technically hate speech, I guess, but that's probably why I wasn't taken down. But she was like yelling into the camera, being like, I don't get why you guys get to have this following and this. And I'm like, well, that's why.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. Like when I've brought up the stuff on like the most hateful I've ever been is when I'm like talking to the camera sternly, being like, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna make stupid videos about drugs, like the most you can do is do a harm reduction video afterwards. But like that's not, these people like will literally call the other influencers names and they're wondering why they're getting their accounts banned. And I'm like,
right.
That's why.
And with that being said, like how people think it's so silly, goofy, funny to make like drug use videos.
They've gotten, I will admit, maybe it's my videos that I've been posting.
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
just
seeing a
me,
lot
'cause I keep
less.
clicking not interested, not interested, not
Yep.
interested, and I
I've
think it like
I think also I don't know if it was my videos. I like to think I'm cool. I've noticed there has been a huge like downtick in how with those in those videos. Like
good.
I've noticed in the last 6 months, especially with I've made so many videos saying like how stupid those are, and a lot of them have gone pretty viral. So and I'm the amount of times I'm so sorry to this other podcast, but like you did what you did and you've said what you said. The amount of times I'm Peaking Podcast has been tagged in my comments being like, you are not standing for the correct things.
Yeah, or like the whole essay stuff. That's like even crazier.
Oh my gosh, I sometimes like I said, I was really excited to have like this whole conversation with you about influencer stuff because there are certain influencers in the scene that I am baffled that they have the following they do because I know who they are in person and I'm like, I bet people
Yeah,
just don't know that you are god awful, that people don't know
yeah.
you're making fun of sex workers and like oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so now moving on to them. This is I try to time these things very well because I see all the questions on my computer and I try to improv well. Do you remember the first time you worked with an influencer, excited to send them something or even interact with them in general, but the interaction in the end was negative? How often has it happened since?
Yeah, it's happened less since now that I have a contract, but like it's hurtful. The worst one was like the first I don't know, they all suck.
I
Okay,
was like,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
you speak openly. This is your time.
One's like a, heavy in the rave scene, blew up on Instagram, TikTok, everything. And like she seemed so excited to work with me. Got very detailed in exactly what she wanted, like down to like what every charm, every little thing. And
Oh,
then
wow.
I made it, or well, I add it to the queue because I have paid for orders and I mix influencer orders and trades in with those. So, and I
Yeah.
try to do it as
Which
fair
is
as
smart.
possible.
That's really
Well,
smart.
2 separate times she asked if it was going to be shipped by a certain time, and I stick to my deadlines. And when I say 4 weeks to 6 weeks, it's 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So I don't know what I don't
When
know.
people tell me 4 to 6, with small businesses, I still assume 8. I work with so many small businesses at this point. You tell me four
Right?
to
It's like
six, I'm
be
like, I'll assume 8.
logical. Be
Like
logical.
there's
And then
small
what
business
about when
one
you think
person.
people make things? I'm not really trying to talk shit, but like when I truly believe that people are like hand making things, but then they post a video that it's just made in a shop by random workers, I'm always like, oh. And like
That's not
they've
hand.
offered to do a
Yeah.
trade with me, especially if they've offered to do a trade with me and I'm here hand making something and it to them it's just nothing. So then in my head I'm like, you're not even gonna really promote me. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people all think that like there's machines or employees making my orders, but it's just me.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people. So I think that's because of fast fashion, unfortunately, like Shein and
Yeah.
all that stuff is that people just think that small businesses have more than one person. I am very understanding that every small business I work with is done by themselves, just one person.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like it's insanity. So then I made the piece, shipped it to her, sent the tracking. She never responded to the tracking. So I waited like 2 days and I was like, "Hey babes, just let me know when it gets to you." This is after we always agree on what the contract is before I had something for them to sign. We always agree, and the agreement was, send me a few pictures, either do a reel or a TikTok unboxing or just a natural video of you wearing it and tag me in it. So those are three
Yeah.
different things. Well, two different things that you are required to do, and one of them is an option of what you want to do. Agree,
Yeah, I was like,
agree,
that's
agree.
that's pretty much what you did with me. I was like, I
Pretty
said I'd make an unboxing video. I think I did
Yeah,
like 2
but
or
you've
3.
done way more. Like you and a bunch of bigger people. I don't even have to ask. You just tag me anytime you wear it, and you
Yeah.
just tag me all the time. Like that's how I started out. So like it kind of threw me off when I saw that people were screwing me over in this way, because like I genuinely like what I make and I think it's original, and I think that when other people have it,
As
they
you
really
should.
want it. I feel like they really want it. So if you don't really want it, just genuinely say that like you're not down with
Right. Like
doing it.
when you sent me the first picture of this, I remember I literally I still remember I like set down my phone and I was like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
I literally cried. Like this one big brand who like offered me a custom outfit, I cried for 10 minutes. Because I was
Yeah.
like, me, silly old me, like I'm so grateful. So it baffles me that like hearing some of the
Right.
things that I've heard.
So at this point, I'm still getting ignored And then I was like, please let me know when it gets there. So then I checked the tracking myself. This is 4 days and it says delivered in mailbox. Then it first message finally after 4 days is, oh, I haven't checked yet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, you haven't checked your mail?
I'm like, you
in 4
seem
days.
very like,
You haven't checked your mail. So then I'm already red flag, worried. In my mind, I'm not even going to get one picture out of this person. Literally, oh, my pet is sick. Oh, I can't get to this. I can't get to that. Oh, no. The first one was, it's not in the mailbox. Sometimes I have issues. Sometimes my stuff gets stolen. I said, no, it tells me it was in the mailbox. If it was near the mailbox, UPS says that. It says near mailbox. This says in mailbox.
yeah.
Never messages me back. So at this point, don't even care. And then literally a month later, I'm tagged in a picture and you can't even see it. And
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
God.
is this? So I took a screen, I sent her own post and I said, is this supposed to be the content for what I made you? And she's like, yeah, but when it came here, it wasn't really me. I said, I made exactly what you wanted and sent you pictures of it. And she was like, I don't know. I'm really, really sorry. I can send it all back to you. And I said, that's good. Please send it back to me. Girl, well, I can't get to the post office right now. Well, I will. I'll definitely will. Oh, can you send me your address again? Yes, I did. It's 3 messages above. Like, just the disconnect. So if your excuse is that you didn't like it, give it back to me and I'll sell it. If your excuse is that your pets are sick, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You're an influencer and this is your job.
Right. I'm like,
None of it makes sense. And then one other horror story is a couple. It's literally a couple, and their full-time job is freelance modeling. Okay.
Mhm.
They freelance model. They all have different pages. They each run like 3 fucking accounts with multiple followers. And they reached out to me. The girl reached out to me and she was like, these are so cute. And I was like, well, I'll give you 2 for free for you and your man if you like make content. She's like, oh my God, tell me exactly what you want me to do. I have all, like, I'll do it. I'm so down. I'm like, okay. I was like, can you do this content, that content? She's like, yes. And I'm going to make other content because we're remodeling a school bus right now. And I feel like it would be cozy to do a school bus set, the 2 of us. So I'm like, word, awesome. It's literally been 4 months. I've never heard back, never anything, nothing. And it's delivered. And she was wearing it on her story one day. So I know she has them. So I just unfollowed and just didn't say anything. But like, this shit happens all the time. Like, it's not free. Like, I'm literally making you stuff. Like, it literally hurts. And like, I used to like cry about it, but it's just like, whatever. So now I have a contract from my lawyer. And now if you don't make your content within 4 to 6 weeks, you have to pay $50.
so is there anything you want to say to the influencers out there who act this way to small business owners?
If we have ever interacted like face to face and then we meet, I mean, if we ever interacted online, like more than once or twice, and then we see each other in person and you completely act like you don't know me, or you start following me on something and then unfollow me like 1 hour later, like, just don't be fake. Just don't either fuck with someone or don't fuck with somebody, because
Yep.
you will keep your following and you will keep getting, you will keep getting people falling for you and loving you if you just stay true to yourself. Whether that means you're a hot mess, stick with that.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you are spiritual and a plur and all that, stick with that. Do
Yep.
that. Like, we already talked about a horrible example when I met one of my favorite influencers who I've looked up to forever. And then I meet her and she's fucking gone on another planet. It's only 1 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. She's
Oh, yeah, I
thirsty,
know what you're talking about,
begging for water, saying that she's not okay. Multiple people give her water, and then she just pulls out liquor and she's like, never mind, I'm good. And then just starts pounding liquor. Don't do that. Don't be like that. Like, what are you trying to get people to like turn again? Like, I don't understand. I know you're fucked up maybe and like you're lost, but like you were guaranteed to be at a certain place, but you had a meetup, you had responsibilities, but you chose to get plastered on hard drugs before 1 in the afternoon. Like, that's weird. You're not going to build your brand like that. Like, maybe it's just my business mindset, but I'm always on point. I'm always ready to go. Like, yeah, I have weed items, but cannabis is like a plant and it's medicine for many people. It's a life-saving thing. So
Yep.
I love when people try to
Yep.
say they don't take me seriously because I'm in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
But it's just your character. So if
Yep.
somebody wants to make a video about you, or if somebody wants to just not act like they don't know you in person, then like whatever. Plenty of other people would be honored to like be around you or meet you. Like it just looks bad on them, or like they hate themselves or something.
Yeah, and I
And
mean,
one
like,
other thing is I take my bong with me everywhere. So like when I'm at festivals
Me
and I'm
too.
allowed to have it, I'll have my bong. Not like
yeah,
I'm
me
carrying a
too.
bong around, but like it'll be in my backpack or whatever.
Maybe,
And I
and you
will
know what? Maybe,
offer,
maybe we do. Maybe we do carry our bong around.
yeah, maybe you do.
Maybe
Well,
we
I
do.
offer everybody rips. Like you can stick your head in the backpack and rip.
Y'all
And, like,
y'all wholeheartedly carry your little spoons on your
Tank.
neck. What about my bong?
they do. They have like flavors for the nitrous has flavors and stuff now. You can
What?
have strawberry kiwi, yeah, and grapefruit flavored. Yeah, it's crazy. And
I
like
didn't
there's
even know
businesses.
that. That's crazy. That's
Are you
wild.
seeing like the small businesses like just making shirts of them and like just promoting it and making it so normalized?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw this, but a really, really, really big like ravewear brand
Yep.
made a print
Yep.
with like
Yep.
their tongue with the acid out. I was like, I I was in a chokehold with that. I was like, you did not just make a fabric with that on it. Like,
Yeah,
what?
and it's a coal. It's a coal. But anyway, I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to
no,
promote
honestly.
unsafe things, like why do people want to promote? Like, are you just trying to make money off everyone? You're just trying to be a trend. Like, what about caring about people? Oh, and another big thing I do with every single order, I send Narcan and test strips with every order.
Hell yeah. I always bring my spare Narcan whenever I go to a event. Honestly, like that breaks my heart that like because I know the influence you're talking about, like there's it's really unfortunate, like learning because I've had this experience too, and maybe somebody like other people have, and it's just kind of unfortunate. There have been several influencers that I looked up. Like I'm not how do I say this? Nowadays it's very hard for me to have a parasocial relationship with anybody because I myself have a following, and so I know that people look at me like I'm an anime character, so it's kind of hard for me to do the same. Like I know that I don't know the person through the screen, but 2 or 3 years ago I wasn't like that. So there's been a couple influencers who really inspired me in content creation, especially with like their outfits and the way that they express themselves, and it inspired me to want to be more myself.
Ones we've had to mute their stories.
Yeah, I've had to mute a lot of influencers actually because they have these perfect bodies that they were just
And then they
born
say,
with.
I'm so fat and ugly. I hate my body.
Yeah, no, when I'm not gonna lie, when people say that to me, I'm like, oh, so what the fuck am I then?
Right.
Anyways.
But then they post their OnlyFans link and it's like,
yeah, so
okay,
I've had
which
to
is it?
unfollow, mute a lot of influencers. The one you mentioned in particular, I haven't muted or unfollowed or anything, but that's because she became a very, very real person to me, seeing how much she was struggling and how like what she portrayed online was nothing of who she was in person. Like who she was in person, I was like hanging out with her for several hours and I was like, you are not who I thought you were. Like you are just not who I like. And I try not to project my image of somebody else. Like I try not to be like,
but I mean, if the shoe fits, if you literally did this, you did this.
Yeah,
and I
like,
don't want someone else to have this experience.
When you've watched like it's kind of hard when you watch someone's lives and you've watched videos and you've read their captions.
You think there's someone.
And I think it's hard because like you don't want to assume somebody is that way, but when someone portrays themselves, and especially with this one, portrays harm reduction so openly, I was like,
but your eyes were
flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted by what I saw. Oh my gosh. Like I cannot believe the things that I saw that day and how they use drugs and how like openly they did hard drugs. And I just offered me hard drugs.
So when I asked the one girl up at main stage, I was like, do you want to rip too? Because her friend took her up and she's like, and this is somebody I've looked up to for literally, I mean, you can ask Kai, like obsessed with her, looked up to her years.
And she said, I don't smoke weed. It makes me a
I'm
vegetable.
okay. Hard drugs only.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And then took 6.
Wait, is this the same one we were talking about?
No.
Oh, different one. Okay.
Someone else. Yeah. So, took 6 hits of the tank and then laid down on the coochie couch and was like, ugh. And I was like, yeah, that looks so much more fun.
Tank.
Like,
I thought you were joking at first, like me hard drugs only.
She was like trying to be cute about it, but she was like dead serious. Like she was trying to be like, I don't know what character was on that day on her. I don't know, but I was like okay.
that would have had. Oh my god! If she looked me full in my eyes and said that, I would have been that sounds like an addiction problem. That's
Yes.
that's exactly how I would have responded.
When people can't
that's me.
separate the
But, like-
scene from like real life. Like
No,
I
like,
see
that
ravers
sounds
out here who
like
are
addiction.
doctors, who are dentists, who are literally teachers.
You know how many
like
nurse-
you see these people,
Yeah.
and then you see them out in the mosh pit, and you're like, oh hell yeah, you know how to separate like real life, and then you're not just like hardcore using drugs
there's
outside in the real world.
And I want to reiterate for people watching, there's nothing wrong with using these hard drugs if you're doing it
No.
safely, if you're doing it occasionally, if you're doing it because you just want to like have a night to yourself. But from what it sounds, the fact like she was like, oh no, hard drugs only, it's like there's a difference
And
between
followed up with doing them.
like there's a very vivid difference. Like I think for me, I know how a lot of people have said like, oh, you learn how many people do cocaine as an adult. No, what was me was how many people did ketamine.
Yes,
I've never touched
ketamine.
it. I've never touched it.
I
I've
was in
never
a
had any
6-year
interest in it.
relationship, and that's why I'm so like hurt by it, because I've gone through the shit. I've sold everything. I have put myself in terrible positions. I've been in a relationship to someone who would just rail lines of K all the time because it helps my depression. Like, no, you, and then they'll be like, yeah, but you're always going to festivals. You work at raves. You see it all the time. Okay, I know how to separate. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's a slippery ass slope. Like, I'm in my 30s. I'm saying this because I've watched people I literally love just lose themselves so bad.
I
Like,
lost myself for a little while because of
Yeah,
like, I mean, not even like super crazy. I just thought that back in 2019, I had this like thought in my head that I had to be doing drugs. Like everyone else around me is doing Molly. So I need to be on Molly, right? Right. That makes sense. Every month I should be doing it. Yeah, that makes sense. No, you can be sober. And I wish someone had looked me in the eyeballs and said that, because maybe I wouldn't. Like, I've had a lot of people say to me like, oh, well, you had your year on Molly. You did your time on that. And I'm like, yeah. And I was fucking stupid. And that's my
as
first.
humans are supposed to grow and change.
Yeah. Like, and you're not, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. I wasted
And almost
events.
everything is mixed. And I might only smoke weed.
In my
or, like,
area,
this
everything
mushroom.
is.
Yeah,
in my area,
I might only do this. I might only do that, but I still ship test kits, and I still care. I still ship Narcan. I still bring it with me to shows, even though Echo Stage like doesn't let you bring it in. Shout out Echo Stage. You guys got to do something about that. So, but like, you should be allowed to bring harm reduction with you.
Yeah. So kind of switching back over to what we were talking about with influencers, what means the most to you when you're making things for influencers in EDM space? Like, what just means the most to you?
Perfect example is like you. Anytime you like put on your piece, you're like, oh, shout out to Your Highness for making this. Like, that means so much to me. Like, and I always try to make sure everybody knows. Like, I'll be like
basic human respect. Like,
but a lot of people really don't. And like, back to the company we were talking about earlier with the print that we were talking about, I did a whole fucking photo shoot, and they never even acknowledged my pictures. Never even.
Which is, I feel like I've actually
they don't appreciate their people. They don't appreciate their people. It's just money.
I've had brands do that with me. There are a couple of brands I refuse to work with because I know from other people that all they care about is money. That's all they care about. They do not care about their influencers. They don't care about how much they're paying. Like, there's a couple big brands that I'll say what I want about their clothes or whatever, but they pay me well. They paid me well. Like, yeah, I was like, if you pay me well and your clothes may not fit perfectly, I'm okay with that. And they reposted me. They've helped my following. So it's like, it should be a mutual transaction. That's what I feel like the disconnect between small business and influencers are. And that's how I view it. It's like, oh, you send me these hair pieces. My transaction is, instead of paying for it, I'm going to post these videos.
Yeah, but our agreement was only take a picture in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it wasn't.
But you just did a lot.
Yeah, like it. But for me, that's just basic respect. If someone sends you something for free, be fucking grateful, especially if it's a small business, someone who hand makes it themselves, does everything themselves. Like, don't worry, my cat's in the background too. You're just both little happy additions.
My shoes, I had to take them off.
So I feel like it's important to remember that it is a transaction, but it's one that it's a little different because usually small businesses find their influencers because they want to send them. Like they're like, oh, I like this person. So Now I have to ask because I really want to know what like drew you in for me. Like when you first saw me, like what was your like, I want to send her something.
I think it was because of a funny like skit you did that popped up on my For You page, and then I just liked your hair. And then I literally said, I like your hair. And then you were like, I like your hair pieces. And I was like, oh, well, okay, do you want one?
I actually wear this quite frequently too. Like it,
Yeah.
especially if my roots are showing. I want you to know this is clutch because I keep pretty updated on my roots nowadays. But last year, which is funny in the video, like you reposted when I showed it to my
Yes.
boyfriend, I was like, ah, yes, that
That
hairpiece
was
came in
bright.
clutch. It helped so much because my roots were like 3-4 inches long and they were brown. So like the
Well, you
hairpiece
didn't know
has
what you
brown in
wanted to
it.
do with your hair at the time.
Yeah. Now I've gone into my niche. I'm like, neon green, yeah, forever. Like there's
But
no
yeah,
going
pretty
back.
much it was just like just your energy and like your makeup and stuff. And then I was like, oh, she's definitely like probably down like with what I do.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
So
Mhm.
how often has it happened that you have sent an influencer free hair and they didn't do anything with it? Like they ghosted you.
So I've
Never...
worked with at least 50 to 60 influencers, and at least 10 have yet to ever give me content or send me my stuff back.
That's a 6. My brain works
One
fractions.
person, people just sent me screenshots. One person is telling people she made it in her video on TikTok. So that was cool. That was cool.
That's fraud, isn't it? Like that. Can you sue
Well, a
her?
bunch of people were defending me and she just blocked them.
Like, isn't that literally illegal?
Ugh.
I'm almost
I'm the
almost
dumbass that
positive.
sends them stuff.
No, like I'm almost
I'm the dumbass.
positive that's illegal to say that you made something when you didn't. Like you could probably sue her. Just so you know, like that is you should talk to your lawyer about that. I was like,
Right?
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I'm sick of my lawyer.
God, that's so crazy. Like I don't know how, like my brain just doesn't process. It's like you get something, you appreciate it. Like I've never been the person that
And
like,
if you have the balls to tell me you don't like it, just send it the fuck back.
I've never not liked something I've gotten. That's also the crazy part is I've never received something from someone and been like, I don't like this. Like no, every single
my
time.
favorite is when I'm like, do you want to work together? Like I'll do this, this, and this. And they're like, yeah, what do you make? What do you do? Fucking click it and look. Just click it. If you don't have time to click the button, you do not have time to do what I want you to do.
That's so crazy because
Get over yourself.
I'm thinking to myself right now, like the last brand that I worked with, they said like they the one we were actually talking about earlier, Little Savage Design, actually. This shop, this one right here.
Hit me up, girl.
I remember like she messaged me and she was like, hey, do you want something? And me and my big girl brain, I'm like, here, let me click onto this shop, see what she has.
I like, and tell her what I like.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I like your bucket hats. I like your shirts. So I'm like, big girl moves, apparently. I didn't know that's the way it was. Oh, I saw my boyfriend leave on a bike ride. Bye, babe. I just saw him biking
I like
away.
how his aura is so also green. Unless you're just that overpowering that it's like just consumes both of you. It's like, yeah.
He's actually kind of like, he likes to call himself goth. He loves the color black.
What?
I know.
No, he does not give goth vibes.
I wanted to know he'd be devastated to hear that. He tries so hard. Like so his everyday looks are usually like black shirts and black pants, but like he doesn't. I'm like, being with me.
Yeah, when he's with you, it's like
I brighten anybody's day. I'm just very bright. So it's like I feel like it also it does look like I overpower just because he's always wearing black and green go very well together. And I feel like it just they contrast each other in the best ways. So you said like you kind of touched on this about the contract. So what do you do now to help prevent from people not doing this? So like what is the contract that you have now?
Yeah, so it's a digital contract. It's just literally so simply stating that what I asked of you to do, you check mark which 2 things that you want to do as your content, and then you have to literally give me card information. You can't do Venmo or Cash App because I've already had people lie and then not pay me or change their fucking username and not pay like $40. Couldn't even pay me $40.
Imagine being that broke. You can't pay $40. I was like,
why are you making an agreement with me?
I finally just made my first custom with Base Babe jewelry, and I dropped
Yes.
120 on that shit.
I was
don't even
wearing
care.
your necklace. I was wearing my Wuhan basic jewelry necklace.
I love
it
the,
just
I'm pretty sure they go by them. They might be her. I'm
really.
not going,
No, I don't think so.
really.
It's
Is it Amber?
yeah, 'cause
I was
she's
like, I
just
know that name's
queer.
Amber.
Amber just goes by queer.
See, I like to be so respectful that I'm like,
We
just in
love you,
case-
Amber.
Yeah, I was like, I love their stuff. Just in case I'll say they, because they go by with everybody. I love their stuff so much, and I remember the first box I got from them. They thought I said Zed's dead instead of Zed, so now I have this beautiful Zed's dead necklace that I love, and I have a Zed necklace too.
Exactly. It's the silver. It's like the reflective one.
Yep. And I had someone comment being like, "Wow, so bold to be like ungrateful." I'm like, dude, I literally said I will wear this happily. And then then they messaged me afterward and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll send you the Zed stuff." And I'm like, "You really don't have to." And
no, but
anyways.
Amber is someone who will definitely overthink. Like it's like she's the sweetest and
really
will just worry.
I'm so excited. I got this like harness chain custom, and I'm using, I don't know if you saw like the Rave Barbie thing that they posted. I'm having one made, and it's gonna say neon. It's gonna say neon instead of
open
res.
your books back up.
I felt so, I want to know, I felt so like okay. So yeah, I felt VIP because I messaged them and I was like, okay, so I know you're opening your books in like a week. You just posted this. So I was like, I know you're opening your books in like a week. Is there any chance that I could book with you right now and say, and like snag a spot right now so I can have one of your customs? And she's like, oh yeah, heck yeah.
Mushroom earrings. I got puffball earrings, and I have a Wukong necklace and a mushroom necklace too that she gave me for free. Of course.
I love that she always gets earrings for free. But yeah, I then to respond, I was like, yeah, I can definitely do that. And I'm like, I'm so cool because I've been wanting with like I said, it's like the chain harness that goes like from here and it goes like straight down and it wraps around. Yeah. I've been wanting one so bad.
You can add it to everything.
So I literally drew it and everything. Like I drew exactly what I wanted. I'm very, I had a vision. I told her, I was like, if you can't do anything, let me know. I'm not seriously set on this. This is just my idea design and like what I kind of want. Let me know if you can't do it, and that, yeah. So, now we're actually, so that was kind of, oh, no, I have
don't mind me, my ADD.
Oh no, you're so fine.
I have to play with some.
No, you're so fine. So one more question about the business stuff, and then we're gonna use the last little bit to talk about some harm reduction stuff. Y'all know I'm a harm reduction queen. I always gotta talk about some harm reduction shit. There's been a couple episodes where I haven't touched on it, but that's because every episode, the first 5 was about harm reduction. So for any, I was like, I feel like I don't want to oversaturate. I do want to give some fun episodes where people can just listen in and just be silly goofy with me, like I do think that's fun. But I do also think it's really important. Like my next episode I'm recording is very, very in-depth harm reduction, asking real questions that most people don't want to be asked. So for any small business owners listening right now, what advice would you give if they are having similar issues that you've dealt with in terms of not following up on content?
Get a contract. Don't even think about it. Just get one. Even if you don't have a lawyer and it doesn't even have to be that serious. Just, I never finished about my contract. You have to put your card information and everything, and then you have to sign it. And then you have 4 to 6 weeks to make your content. And if not, you get charged $50, whether it was $200 worth of product or $30 worth of a product, you still are going to get charged $50. If people don't feel comfortable, and it's not any deeper than that. If they don't feel comfortable sharing that information with me, we don't work together. That's all that there is to it. And I haven't had any issues since.
Yeah, which you should, if someone genuinely wants to work with you, they shouldn't have any issues signing that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science.
I'm not gonna rob you.
Yeah, I was like, if anything, it says a lot to their character and if they are actually genuine to what they were gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, if anything, it's like them saying, I don't want to sign something like that is like, were you going to follow through anyway then? Or were you just going to go something like the other ones?
Exactly.
Like if you gave me that when we first interacted, I would be like, oh yeah, here's my card. I have no doubt that you're like, I'm not going to get charged. I'm going to make the stuff for you. Like I'm
And I have so many online reviews and followers and interactions, you can trust me, and if not, then we don't have to work together. And all these people who have all this high following, but then their video views are 100, 200, I want engaged customer and engaged people. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
if I don't have that high of a following.
That's what
Like, at
following
least
following
everything has
doesn't really
interaction.
following doesn't really matter, to be honest. So
No.
as someone who so for speaking numbers, I have like 28,000 right now, right? On my main. And there are people I know who have almost 10 times my following.
Yes.
And
A
they get
million
less.
and they don't get views.
So I have a few friends who are like in the 100,000s, and there's been a couple that they've like expressed to me how like, yo, like, how are you getting, like, for me, my last several videos have been going viral. And I'm like, to be fair, I
Yeah.
had one giant video go viral, and now I'm
It's
just
the
making sure
content.
I post every day. And now I'm posting every day, me talking, and each video is just doing better and better. And also, I really want to get paid. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Same.
different things. I was like, I
Make it
I
a
love
minute.
what I
Make it a
yeah,
minute.
make it a minute. Every single video has been a minute at least. Which luckily I'm glad I did that, because I posted my brain thoughts during my lunch saying like, hey, not everyone's gonna like you, because I got 2 coworkers who vividly expressed to me
Yeah,
in
that was a
facial
good one.
expressions. Thank you. It's because I have these 2 coworkers who every single day they are so nice to me to my face, but are fucking assholes.
And little do they know that they are just creating the best content.
Oh, I hope I hope one day they find out. I hope one day they see my following and they see the videos I made about them, and they're like, "Oh, damn." Yeah. They made fun of my shoes once, and I made a video about like, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that video did really well. And I'm like, "Thank you for giving me content." But like,
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
so
thank
okay
you
with
for
not.
saying anything, because it's just gonna give
Yeah.
us views.
Yeah, so like that day they had or the day before, me and my coworkers had ordered Taco Bell and had it like DoorDash to the school, and I couldn't do this, but my friends looked in their eyeballs as they were eating the food, because ready? So like this little segue, because I love giving more. Um So I've been so nice to them this whole time. I've tried to extend olive branches that they've just torched. I try to be so nice. I really do, because I don't want drama at my work. I love my job. I love where I work. I don't want to lose it. I'm gonna do everything I can to be kind and to keep it. I got these lamb shoes, right? And I'm like besties with 2 of my other coworkers. And I'm showing
Lamb
my
or lamb?
lamb, like lamb. Like yep. So they have little lambs on them, and I'm showing my coworker Kylie, because I'm like, look at that shoes. And these other 2 coworkers, my other coworker sees, right, that these other 2 girls literally look me up and down like this, and then look at each other. And then not even a minute later, oh my God, Kelly, I love your shoes. My other coworker texts in the group chat, just so you know, this is what happened. And
Mean girls.
they've done stuff like that. And then there was one time that the coworker, I don't want to name their names, but one of them, she was going to get Starbucks on her lunch, asked everyone else what they wanted, got them it, and then returned with the Starbucks for me to be the only one who didn't get it. And then she asked me what I wanted too. She asked me what I wanted and then didn't get it for me. So that was 5 months ago, right? Fast forward 2 days ago, a couple days ago. So my coworker Ivy, she's like, hey, y'all want Taco Bell? Like, and I girls Venmo her, right? So everyone places their order. I'm usually the olive branch person, right? I'm like, always be nice. When I tell you, Ivy looked at me and said, hey, should we ask them if they want Taco Bell? No. Everyone looks at me and they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, no. I still remember when they did. I was like, I still remember when they didn't get me Starbucks. And they all just started laughing, because usually I'm the one who's like, yeah, just be nice. And I was like, no.
People please.
I literally said, let them suffer. So we get to talk about my other coworker, right? Kylie, who I hang out with all the time. She makes literal eye contact with them while she's eating her burrito. She's like eating, she's like and so Kylie like the other girl like rolls her eyes and everything. So it's just people are so unnecessarily rude for no reason. So after like they gave a bunch of looks to my friend Kylie, I go into my lunch and I'm like, oh, now I got like half an hour. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. And so I'm like, I hope they know that they continuously give me content, because they're awful humans.
Yeah.
I hope that one
Thank
day
you.
right? I'm like, if you're going to keep being an asshole to me and all of my other friends and my coworkers, then like, I'm going to make content about you. So, and it's going to be longer than a minute. So switching over to the last part of this, which is the harm reduction part, we've talked off camera and kind of a little bit now on camera about, the hardcore drug usage in the scene. So what is it like for you when you're just a stoner and almost everyone around you is on a hard drug, essentially?
It's a lot. I feel like everything doesn't have meaning. And when I go to raves and festivals, I'm trying to like make, especially festivals, I'm trying to make real connections.
Yeah,
I'm not
me
just trying to
too.
like network and spread my business, but I'm trying to like make friends, make connections. And when everyone's just like all fucked up, they just talk out of their ass or don't
Yeah.
remember it the
Or they
next
trauma
day.
dump. That's when I start to struggle is if
Yeah,
I'm getting trauma dumped on for an hour or two.
always. I apparently my forehead says therapist, free
Yeah,
therapy on it.
same.
And that's like how it is. And I'm just like, okay, like
I think it
this has
also
no
is just our
context.
energy too. Like I do want to say, like we were both very like you gave the mom vibes, right? I give off dealer vibes,
Yes.
apparently. I'm okay with it. I think that just our vibes and our presence in general is very comforting. So
Yeah.
people who have mom or dad issues, especially, will latch onto us if they have any trauma. And I've
Yes.
noticed that at every rave, I get the mommy and daddy issues talk. Like that's where like my mom did this, my dad did this, or my boyfriend did this. Usually it's one of those three. And I'm just like, I scream
All
trauma
three.
dumper. Yeah, sometimes all three. And usually I don't mind it, but it's when it's to the point where that's all my conversations have been all day. It's
Yeah.
like the
And
entire
then
day
my
at a
other
festival,
thing
it's
is like,
I've been trauma dumped on.
right. And when you're working at these festivals and you have to be around people for like a good few minutes and like, or they're looking at my stuff and you hear every conversation surrounded about drugs. Well, what are we doing tonight? Well,
Oh
what
my
about after the
gosh. Yeah,
mushrooms?
I
Well,
didn't
how
even
many
think about
tabs are
that.
we going to do? Well, how much is left? Oh, well, we're going to have to find more. Well, where are we going to get more? Oh, well, we don't. Every conversation. Every conversation. And I'm like,
that would
why
probably
is
get to me.
everybody, it's literally what it's here for. And then you see, we're trying to defend ourselves. Like, just because we're in the rave scene doesn't mean that we're doing it just for the drugs. But then it makes me so nauseous hearing the conversations. And then another thing is like some of these vendors will stay up all night and close their booth at like midnight and then go to the afters and then, you know, sleep the whole next day and then da da da. But it's like, no, I'm a morning person. Like, because I'm just smoking weed or having like a couple beers, I'm hydrating, I'm eating, I'm
I'm
not
tired by midnight. I want to go to bed.
Yes, I want to
go
go
to
to
bed.
bed and then I want to wake up early, enjoy my morning, cook food,
Yeah.
like do all the things. Like, I'm sorry that I can't keep my booth open till midnight. You would not want my art on you at midnight. I'm not inspired. Like, I don't have cocaine to like pick me up and
Yeah.
make me stay up all night. I'm doing this naturally.
That's
And
what gets to me, I think, about the scene more than anything.
people are
I don't
like, why
know.
are you so tired? Why are you leaving? Why don't
Yeah,
you want to
like
come to the afters third night in a row?
I
Because
haven't
I'm not
really
on drugs.
I haven't really spoken about this on the podcast, but it is something I've wanted to. So I'm actually really glad you brought it up. The amount of times people have said to me that I'm boring because I don't do afters, that, oh, you're not really having a good time. You're not going to the afters. I
I
look
went
at them,
hard all day.
I literally looked at them and I'm like, I'm tired. And they're like, okay, well, you could be doing these drugs. Then you could stay up all night. That's like genuinely the conversation I'm having with people. And I'm
Yes.
like, but why would I want to do that? There's a whole,
I care about my body and
yeah,
like I
people
danced all day.
what I struggle with, I think, is that people will speak about doing these drugs and just like say, oh, you should do this. Like it
No
doesn't
big
come with
deal.
fucking consequences.
Right.
These drugs don't come with mental and physical consequences. For me, it's not just, oh, do a bump of cocaine so you can stay up. If I did that, I don't even want to know where my brain would go. I've never done cocaine. I've never done ketamine. I've never done these hard drugs. So if someone says, oh, you just got to stay up, do this, it's not that simple for me. I don't think it will ever be that simple. And so when people say, oh, just do a bump of coke, it'll keep you up. But what
And then
about
who's going to take care of you if something goes wrong?
right?
All
And
the
also,
other
what
fucked up
about
people?
what about the high that comes with it? Is it going to be a good high, or am I? And don't even get me started about the drip everyone's talking about. I don't ever want to taste that. I hope I never do. I hope I never, ever, ever have to taste that. Like the amount of time,
some people love it. That's what they live for.
the amount of times people are like, "Oh, that's the drip." I'm like, okay.
And they're like,
no,
and it's like, that's so hot. It makes me want to make out with you right now.
the amount of like. So like, yeah, that's where I struggle is where
And then
like,
the words are pointless. Everything is not real.
Yeah, it's like not everyone's like that, luckily. And I'm really glad that like I've had a video. What's kind of funny is I had a video about sober raving go viral like a month ago. And I am astounded in the best way of how many sober ravers there are. Like,
Yeah.
I was so afraid to post that video. Like, I closed my phone and turned it off. I was like, I don't want to know the response to this right now. It's probably gonna be bad. And then I opened my phone and it's like, it's literally 50 plus comments and it's all, I'm a sober raver. I'm a sober raver. And I'm like, it gave me, I'm not gonna lie, it really,
Hope.
it gave me so much fucking hope. Like I am so excited to go to my next event now because I know there are so many sober ravers out there. And I want to know for anyone who's listening, there are a lot of us. I think it's so hard to find though, because there's so many more people who are not sober. So keep your eyes peeled. You're fine. Keep your eyes on the lookout, you guys, because I'm telling you, there are so many sober ravers out there. And I implore you to really look for them and to try to find them, because when I tell you there was like at least 3,000 comments, all of I'm a sober raver. I'm a sober raver. I'm like, yes, we're still alive and thriving. It's so that gave me a lot of hope. It really did. I was starting to get to the point where I thought that everyone was just doing hard drugs. Like it was like, who are my people who are just smoking weed? Like I am a simple gal with simple mindsets.
Okay, so there's like limits. So at WooCon, when you were going into main stage, like I was working at WooCon, so my booth is right near main stage, so I could see like what was going on with like security, and there were 3 dumpsters full of people's tanks and stuff, and they just like take your shit and throw it away, and they don't fuck with it at all. They have signs everywhere that says we're not cool with K or something, or like say something like that. Like it was pretty cool. Like I never really saw that. And then I go to other festivals, and they have a fucking 18-wheeler filled with 50 nitrous tanks, huge ones, and they're just filling up balloons, and every single day the ground becomes more and more balloons. Little, like I could not even fathom this. There was a line from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. lining up to get balloons at this truck all day, every day.
It's just like to like realize what you meant by that, by the way, because maybe I'm just a silly little goose, but I was like, why would people give a fuck about a balloon truck?
Okay, bitch.
That's why I'm like, no, I get it now. Trust me, I'm like, girl.
No, so like
the helium out of the balloons.
You know how when you go to like the freaking party store and they have the 6-foot tanks, there were 50 6-foot tanks. And it was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. People lined up buying them all day, and then just throwing them on the ground.
That gives off sniffing Sharpies vibes.
Not even throwing them away.
Like that's what that reminds me of.
You're trying to be all loving and peaceful and hippie and a raver, but you're just throwing your trash on the ground in front of you. Like
oh my God.
Where's the disconnect?
So do you ever get the feeling that you're on the outside because you're not choosing to participate in harder drugs? Absolutely.
Yeah, and being with my partner has made it like so much more clear, because all my old friends and my old partners would be calling me lame, calling me a party pooper, like making me feel like, but I always stuck to me and my true self. And now that I'm with someone who's like, I see it too, like you're not crazy, it's everywhere. I hear it, I see it.
I 100% feel like I'm on the outside, like in my area.
The music,
right? I was like, I love the music. I love the music. I love being able to meet people. And I just don't even go to local events anymore, because it doesn't feel like that's what it's about. It feels like everyone's there just to get as fucked up as possible. And here I am, sober as all shit, basically. Sometimes I take an edible, but it hasn't kicked in yet. And I can't smoke in the line sometimes, because sometimes some lines be stingy, and if you have your thing out, you're gonna get it taken away. So it's already locked and keyed up, you know? So it's like there's been a few events I've gone in and been in line stone cold sober, like not a drink in me, because I hate drinking.
Freezing, half naked.
Yep. And it's like everyone else is like, you can see eyeballs or to the size of Mars, and people like shaking like this. And I'm like, dude, the night hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
Like, the edible hasn't even had time to kick in yet. Like, are you for real? Like, and that usually they act pretty fast. Like, it doesn't take that long. So I
feel fucked up when I walk into any event.
Honestly, sometimes the way that people like,
I'm like, whoa.
There are times when, like, especially with Excisions, like I went to his Nexus tour in Lake Tahoe, and all you have to do is look at his visuals, and you feel like you're fucking on something. I swear to God, like I don't even need anything anymore. Like I do it. As I said, I did Molly at Base Canyon last year. It was one night. It was a third night. It was the last night of the fest. I wanted to have a good time. It was great. And I haven't done it since. Who's
the cute little blonde girl? I love her. You interact with her a lot. I've done, what is her name? She has like 1 million fucking followers on like everything. She's skinny girl. She does the anime.
Blaze?
Yes, Blaze. Blaze.
I was like,
literally,
actually, I'm pretty sure Blaze doesn't mind they or she.
Okay, well, listen,
yeah.
I was asking about Lost Lands one time, and she's like such a real one. And she wrote me like books on why Base Canyon is where I need to save my money for. And like she always likes my stuff. She tagged me when she wore my piece. She made an unboxing. Like she held up her end of the bargain. And she has so much more followers than half these bitches who rip me
I was
off.
like, I think that's who you're talking about. Because they do the
Yeah,
really
Blaze,
cool
it's
makeup
100%
looks.
her.
Yeah. Dude, it was so funny. They messaged me and they're like, hey, I'm be driving near you. Do you want me to like stop? And so like they parked in my driveway and we hung out all night. It was so great.
Yeah,
They're
see?
one of the most amazing, genuine people in the scene. I saw them at pre-party at Base Canyon and we just turned and both looked at each other. And then the next day, I was in incognito mode. I was wearing my Pash hood. They were the only one that recognized me. The only one. I walked up
Yeah,
into that
see?
group full of influencers, and I tell you, it was every influencer in the Rave scene was in one little area. And like they're the only ones who noticed me. I take off that passion though. Oh my god, Kelly. But they were like, Kelly? And I'm like, yes. It's me with my hood on. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes,
I
it's
love her. And
me.
like she'll never leave you on red. Like she'll
Mhm.
always respond and just
Yep.
it's like so if someone with a million damn followers can see my message, y'all saw it.
Yep. So them and Twink Bussy Chase are two of my absolute favorite humans in the
Oh, I
fucking
love
world.
him. He's hilarious. My boyfriend sent me his video like a
He's
year
gonna
and
be
a
on
half
my
ago, and
podcast.
I was like, oh, I follow him.
Yeah,
And
he's great. He does not a super great responder, but that's okay. I'll wait for you, sweetie. We'll get out to our podcast soon. I said in the questions and everything, but there's
you know who
unfortunately
she's talking about? The one who's like,
Twink
the
Bussy
guy.
Chase. Yeah,
So
they're like,
he's always like making the videos like of his face like being crazy.
you'll have to
You
show her
know you
off
saw.
camera. I
I
guarantee she's
will.
seen him. But yeah, I feel like he's just a busy ass bean. But I've sent him my questions and everything, and he approved them. But now we're just trying to schedule the time.
Yeah.
Same with a couple of people. But unfortunately, that is the reality of working with certain influencers, is that we are all busy ass bitches and getting.
And just think, I get my shit blown up like 50 messages a day, and I don't have a following. What about them?
Yeah,
They have quadruple the following. Imagine how many freaking DMs they get a day.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. I already struggle enough with my DMs. So have you ever felt tempted to join in on the usage purely because of the feeling of being on the outside? I know I have. I'm not gonna lie. I have. I will put myself on the chopping block. I have. I've definitely, maybe it's my people pleasing, but
I don't
that has
know. The New
definitely,
Yorker in me will just always stand my ground because something in me always wants to be the opposite of what's going on.
you know what? I'll be so fucking for real right now. Hopefully people don't think me differently, but like, so last year, remember the influencer we were talking about where I had looked up to them for so fucking long. Like they inspired everything. I feel like it really was like, they asked me if I wanted to do K. They offered me some and they said it was tested, and I cannot even put into words how much I wanted to say yes. Just so I felt like, I don't know, more like digestible for them. Like, I guess, like I felt like I was just smoking weed with them, and we were with a few other people and they were just smoking weed too, like the other people we were with. And so like they made me feel fine, but it was like when she looked at me and asked if I wanted to do K, like there was definitely a few moments where I thought about saying yeah. Like I had never in my life wanted to do K, but a particular person who I looked up to and genuinely thought the world of asked me to do it, and I almost did. Like I really fucking did. Like there was a few moments afterwards, after I said no, that I thought about asking again. That I was like, maybe I should just ask her, like, just so I felt like I fit in. And I'm so proud of myself for saying no, because that's not who I am. That's not what I want to do. But sometimes that people pleasing in me is very strong, and that want to just be loved and accepted from being autistic my whole life, it eats at me. And so I'm really glad I said nope. But there's a few times I definitely did. So that's why I'm like, it's understandable if other people feel the same way. Now, for anyone listening who might be struggling with that pressure, like the one I was just talking about, what advice would you give them?
Stick to your guns.
Yep.
Because what if they're just literally lying and it wasn't tested?
Right?
Or what if they're not aware that you've never done that?
Yep.
Someone like you're on the spectrum. Who the fuck knows how you're gonna react with that? What if they already did something else and the person you're offering to is didn't tell you, well, I did some acid earlier, I ate some mushrooms, and then the
that's a
other
good
person's
point.
like, just do this ketamine, just do that. No, like
Also,
people
it was
stick to who
11
you are.
a.m. I just want you guys to know, just on top of everything else, it was 11 a.m.
I'm still making my bacon.
They weren't even awake for an hour. I saw them sober for
But
20
did they go to
minutes.
sleep at all?
Yeah, I was hanging out with their camp friend, basically. Like, I'm friends with her their friend. And so I was hanging out with them, and they're like, oh yeah, they're still sleeping in their tent. So they get up. I saw them sober
Confirmed.
for 30 minutes. And then it was 11 a.m. and they're like,
And you know what's crazy is another thing of like sober raving or like not starting out at 10 a.m. There's so much to do at a festival, bro. You can go to classes, you can go to like meetings, you
I
can
wish
go
I
to
woke up
yoga.
earlier.
You can do all the stuff.
My goal for for Base Canyon this year is to wake up earlier so I could do the yoga and Pilates stuff at
It will
the
change
the
your
pivot.
whole day and your whole experience.
Yep, I really want to do that. I really want to see what it's like. I want to finally experience that, and I'm gonna really
Go to
make
the
an effort.
workshop.
Yeah.
Go get
And
first
so
dibs on that breakfast pizza
when
before
I-
it's gone.
I don't know, like there is, so the camp group I was with a couple years ago, there was this moment that I had that it really resonated to me of like why I don't do afters and stuff. I was up at 6 a.m., showered, everything. I had stopped at the pivot for some breakfast. I come back, it's like noon. Everyone is still sleeping.
Dead.
Everyone.
Or coming back
and
from
half of them came back when I was coming back from the shower.
That's
at
what
7
I'm
in the morning.
saying.
Like, I'm about to have my whole last day. And then
Me
they didn't
too.
get till the Base Canyon that night until 7 p.m. I was already in the venue by 4. I was like, y'all bitches, you're wait. I feel like the reason I'm very like adamant about this, and this is kind of my advice. You have the rave and the festival that you create for yourself. And if you create this environment of constantly being on drugs, constantly being inebriated, you will never be able to fully
experience it.
Yeah, like the things that you can experience in the day sober, I feel like are fucking amazing. And if you take that away from yourself by being like, oh, just woke up, got to do a shot of vodka, which, oh my God, the amount of times I see that.
You know how many artists I've discovered who are openers during daytime sets? Like my favorite new artist.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I just woke up and started the day earlier.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. I love openers. I love festival openers, especially. So my advice, if you're struggling with that pressure, like let's say you have a moment that I did where someone you genuinely care about, love, respect, ask you to do something you've never done, or even just something you've chosen not to do before. Stand, as you said, stick with your guns and say no. I am so
Text me
happy.
or Kelly. Message us. We'll have your back.
Comment on one of my posts. I promise I'll be the one to tell you. You don't ever let someone else be the reason you try something. If you like, let's say in 2-3 years, I decide maybe I want to try. I'm not going to say that. I'm never going to want to try that. Let's say I hadn't done Molly already, right? And I had wanted to try it. Like, that's something you should prepare yourself for. It should not be an spur of the moment decision. Doing drugs and changing your whole mind. And
when I know I'm gonna do mushrooms, it's like a whole event. Like, I am gonna eat so good the day before.
Yeah, it's something, and this is something like in my harm reduction episodes I talk about. There is a before care and after care process you should have when taking drugs. If you take something spur of the moment like that, where's the before care? You're not mentally preparing yourself for what your mind is going to be inebriated. So I think it's really important that if someone asks you, even if the willpower of saying no is harder, say no because you didn't get a chance to prepare. And that can be your reason. If you don't have a reason to say no, that can be a reason. Be like, no, sorry, I didn't have a chance to prepare for this. I really have to prepare myself for whenever I do.
I like that.
Right. It's the perfect, easy answer. Perfect. It's like, what are they going to say? No, you don't need all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
No, obviously I do. Like, that's why I just said no.
It goes both ways. You don't want to be like, ew, why are you even doing that? Why would you offer me that?
It's
just tell them with love and be like, I'm not prepared.
Yeah, it's respecting it. I feel like that is the easiest response. And most people don't know what to say to that. They don't know, because you say, no, I'm good. They're like, oh, come on. If you say, no, I'm not prepared for this. Like, I usually have to prepare myself. They're like, I've seen the amount of dumbfounded looks I've seen with that. They're like, wait, I've had someone look at me and be like, wait, there's a before care process? And I'm like, yes, actually. And so I'm like, oh, harm reduction speak, let's go. So this is my last question. I can't believe we've already been called for like 2 hours. So I know you have places to be and I have places to be.
Fine.
So what can we as active rave and festival goers do to make the scene a better place, whether online or offline? Good
Practice.
spin, by the way. I saw that in the back. That was good. You held that shit. I was like, yeah. Sorry. Anyways.
That's Kylie. So we were laughing when you were talking about Kylie. Because she's
So many
Kylie.
Kylies. So many Kylies. I love it.
I call her Kai. But I would say just like actually practice plur, because if there's anything else you can't do, like if there's anything else that's confusing or hard, there's a literal acronym to assist you with the difficulty.
Yep.
Test your stuff if you have it. Every festival and rave always has like a dance safe tent or something. Usually, I don't want to say
Usually,
always,
most of them
but
do nowadays.
scope it out even before you do anything.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
scope it out. Go see if you have the option. Practice plur. Be true to yourself. I mean, like, just I don't know, and say excuse me.
Yeah. I think what I've kind of, as I'm doing more of these episodes, I always like to use the last question of like, what can we do to make the scene a better place? Like that's usually my last question. And each time I try to have a different answer. But I feel like at this point, it's just be fucking kind.
Yeah.
Like literally, whether it's online
Everybody
or offline.
has driven or flown or walked or did something to be where you're at too. And you are the same as everyone else there.
And honestly, I think more than anything, our online space is where we need to be more kind. Like I really think that like I've noticed that the same people are leaving the shitty comments. Like you'd think I don't recognize your username. I recognize your username. I see you all up in my comments.
Claire Fairy like called people out the other day and she was like, it's so weird that these people who follow me and want to buy rave stuff and go to raves, and then they're the ones calling people's outfits ugly on other videos. Like, why?
It's really
Why
crazy. Like I've told a couple of my other content creator friends the same thing. I'm like, just so you know, the same people who are bitching at you in your comments are bitching at me in mine. It's the same people. They have nothing better to do than be hateful online. So the best thing that any of us can do is just be as kind as possible. Like one of my favorite things to do, I don't always have the mental energy for this, but when I go online to like doom scroll, I guess you could say, I doom scroll with the intention of liking and commenting on every post that I like. Like if I see something I genuinely like, I try to comment on it.
And then
too.
you'll start seeing more and more of what you genuinely like.
Yeah. So I try to just always like one of these days, I wonder if I can pull up like every comment I've ever made in my lifetime. And I want someone to try to find a bad comment I've left. Try it. Probably I have not. I have always considered my online space sacred. It's like who I am online is my digital footprint. And if I leave these hateful comments, people are going to find them. People are going to see them.
Just like I said earlier, 22 different people came forward about whatever her name is. It's just like, there's proof in the pudding. You can't undo what you've said online to people.
If you don't like
it's
something
out there.
Right? If you don't like something, just scroll past it. Don't put your fucking mental energy into it. Just scroll. It's not that hard. Like, you don't have to leave these, like, mine, it's not just the comments, it's the thread of comments. It's the thread of how much you are an awful human and you are ugly and you are wrong.
Yeah.
Like, not only are you wrong, but you're fat and you're ugly too. Like, that's like the whole thread of just how much they hate you. And I'm like, someone was bored today. Someone was bored, but thank you for boosting my algorithm.
And they never have like a picture.
Every time. It's usually like a celebrity of some
kind of a meme.
They have 4 followers. All they have are their reposts. I'm like, you don't even have the bravery to put yourself out there, let alone. So
exactly.
Yeah, just be kind.
So remember that, everybody.
Yeah, I was like, just don't. Right? Just be kind. People, if you're mean to a lot of people, and I'm gonna speak directly to y'all influencers out there because I have my own little piece to say right now. Okay, as a fellow influencer, if you are out there right now and a small business messages you and you are demanding, you are rude, you don't deserve to have your following. You can kick rocks with open-toed shoes. Like it is a blessing. It is a blessing to have a following. Not everyone gets a following. There are people I know who are posting more than I am, maybe double the amount I am, and they can't even get 1,000 followers. And here you are being a fucking bitch of a person, and especially to small businesses who put their time, money, blood, sweat, and tears into their fucking small business. And here you are being a little bitch. You don't deserve your following, and I hope you lose it. Say it with my full chest. Like, this scene already is struggling enough as it is, and to know that EDM influencers are like that, like there's this one that we've talked about before.
Here I come with my ring light. Watch out. And then you say, hi, oh my God, I follow you. And they're like,
Yeah, like if you will lose your following. You
You
will.
know who y'all are.
Yeah, like the girl that we've talked about before who like demanded money from you. I've watched her downfall the last year and I'm like, you had it coming, sweetie. You had it coming. You have been awful to everyone around you. So if you want to keep being that and keep ghosting people who are sending you things because you think you are so entitled and so deserving, you're not that fucking special. I'm sorry. But like, I don't think I'm not special. You're not that special.
What if your account gets deleted? Oh, then what?
I hope.
You're gonna have to meet real people.
I hope your account gets deleted. That is the best thing I could say. I hope your account gets deleted because you don't deserve your following. If you're going to treat people like that, you're going to talk down to small businesses. You're going to comment hate. You're going to be a little just awful person in general. You don't deserve your following. I hope your account gets deleted. Anyways,
yeah.
So that's this episode today, guys.
I hope you trip with your big toe and scratch it. And like she said, with the open toes and the rocks.
Ready? You can use it if you want. I've had a lot of people tell me it's a slay of a line. You can kick rocks with open-toed shoes.
Open-toe shoes.
Like, and okay, you know what? I'm gonna be so honest. I got that from Laura from Love is Blind. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, Laura. You said that to Jeremy, and you had me with that line.
I'm more of a Black Mirror girly, but I see people watching that show, and my best friend loves it. And
it's trash TV. It's like it's trash reality TV. It's okay, but no, she said that to her fiance that she was breaking up with because he was like cheating on her. Basically, she was like, "You can kick rock with open-toed shoes," and I was like, "That's a slay." That's a slay.
Is that the one where they were like, she does not look like Megan Fox?
No, that's a different one. This was the one we've probably seen this on TikTok where she was like, I checked your location. You were in Uptown. Like, have you seen that one where they're like two sitting on the couch? And
I don't even know how to turn a location or do a location.
It's been all over. Like the ones I've seen have like millions of likes. That's why I know it's been, but it's like this guy and this girl sitting across from each other on the couch. And he was like, I gave you my location. And she was like, that's not reassurance. Reassurance is coming home at a decent hour. It's like, I don't know if you've seen that video, but that's who it's from. The next episode.
Ladies, you all deserve better.
Yeah. Honestly, she is not the best human. I will say that. She's definitely,
karma helped her out.
I'm like, just be kind, you guys. I think that if you, I believe in karma with my whole heart. If you're not a good person, it's going to come around and bite you in the ass. Like, I really do. And I think if you're a good person, it's only going to help you. It's only going to, like, I fully believe the reason my following keeps growing is because I'm a good, genuine person. And I think that's with you too. Like, the reason people follow you and love your brand is because you're genuine and people can see that. So,
and I only reach out to people who I feel that way about. Yeah. And then until they show otherwise, then I don't think that way anymore. Yeah. You know?
So is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this episode up? This one's going to be a long one.
I think I word vomited it all out.
Me too. So thank you guys so much for being here, for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode and we will see you online.